Hi guys, well this is a first, not standing in front of you on a video and definitely not looking forward to looking at myself for half an hour. I wasn't a COVID teacher, so this is totally new, but it's a hot day and we're all struggling. So for those of you that want to do this little half-hour session at home, I hope this helps and gets you moving. So I thought, start on the floor. Get yourself down on your mat and we can just start by doing some pelvic floors, pelvic tilts. So no, nothing changes on video, I still get things wrong. So you're going to take that inhale, flatten your back, feel that pelvis, got your arms down by the side and release back off and you feel that curve, which I'm actually going to talk about now because some of you have been coming to Pilates for a long time now, and it definitely, most probably is time, if you haven't already stepped up, to step up in starting to do some work in the neutral position, because our spine isn't naturally connected in a straight line like we do, because we have to rock our pelvis in order to get this straight spine. And it's very protective because your spine is flat on the mat. So for some of you, that is the easiest way to go. So just like when we lift our legs into the tabletop position, some of you prefer, due to back constraints, to have your knees slightly more in towards your chest and have your back on the floor. But if you would like to take it now a bit further, you could see that actually I can get my hand up there. So I'm holding deep into my core, my knees are straight up from my hips, and from there, I'm holding my spine in what's called its neutral position. So from there, you can do like single leg stretch, toe dip, and that way you are pulling straight into the spine in its natural position, which you will find is a harder workout. But I'm sure there are quite a few of you that might feel this is a good time to have a little go. You can always sprinkle it. You can do some flat on the back and some in your neutral position. And you can see my hips going through that position. So let's start ourselves with a hip roll, having discussed how we're going to take some of that further. I've got no equipment apart from a towel and a couple of cans of beans, just in case you want to add in some weights. So we're going to start with a hip roll, so you know your feet are hip distance apart and you're tracking ankle to knee, knee down to your hip bones, arms down by your side. So you take your inhale, you go into that pelvic tilt, push down into those feet, and you slowly come up. And as with all these exercises, you're keeping those ribs tucked in. We're not flaring out at the top, we're keeping it again. And again, that gives more control on this core area. You inhale at the top and exhale, you roll it down. So we're going to do 2 more of those. So you inhale and through you go and up. Lovely. In at the top, big inhale. Come sideways into those ribs and exhale. Down you go. Lovely. And then through at the end. So just 1 more, but we'll make the 1 more with the arms above our head. So taking our inhale, exhale, you go through that pelvic tilt and you take those hips up towards the ceiling, fingertips up, and now you lower back on the inhale. So they're parallel to the back of the floor. Inhale and exhale. Now really slowly work. So you're pushing into the feet, you're keeping keeping as steady as possible as you go down, a bit stiff around that mid-thoracic, and then you come back down again. So just pushing my chair. I might go to chair in a minute. We'll just do some waist twists. So taking your inhale, arms are up above your chest, fingers to the ceiling. Just take it from side to side. Just trying to do some little warm-ups. Lovely. And to the other side. And up and down. Lovely. And you can have a light connection because it's inhale and exhale to release. Inhale up and exhale to release. Lovely. Bring your arms down to the side. So we might do some little ab curls. We did those the other day in our basic class. So for those that know that they're safest with their neck on the floor, keep it there. So you can take an inhale and exhale. You can just stretch it forward. And notice I'm bringing my hips and my ribs together. So that keeps us working and then releasing. So it's like doing an exaggerated, strengthened hip curl, because I am really bringing these in and releasing. You have the alternative where you can bring your knees in towards your chest and away. So you're keeping the upper part of your body in connection with the mat, and you are using these muscles, so my hip bone is coming up. So it's just doing a reverse curl. So if you want to do some, you can do it this way if you know you want to keep your neck and shoulders on the floor. For those that are happy to use your neck, you can put your hands behind your head, taking your inhale and exhale. You are imprinting on the floor because obviously we're coming up. Our eye line is between our knees and we are supporting our head. And down. Third option, arms down by the side, taking an inhale and exhale. You are stretching down towards those ankles. You inhale at the top and exhale. You come down. So having seen those three variations, we're going to go for 2 sets of 6. So taking your inhale, exhale, up you go. Inhale and exhale down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and down. If you'd like to change the speed, you can inhale, exhale up. Inhale down and exhale up. But you're keeping that connection. You're not letting it go at any point for a reconnect. Inhale. 2 more. So just take it at the pace. You've got this choice at home of taking this ab curl in any which way you would like. And then we pause for a moment. We're going to do 1 set of 6, couple more abdominals, and then we'll start doing some other stretches. Get the abdominals out quickly when maybe, hopefully, you're not as hot. So start again. You inhale and exhale up, imprinting that back, and exhale down. So you go at your own speed. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, connect and imprint, and exhale. I'll do 3 slow to finish. Inhale, exhale up. Inhale to hold it. You can really work on that shoulder and neck position, and then down. So inhale, exhale. Inhale, hold, and exhale down. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale and down. Do a nice long full body stretch, stretching out those abdominals. So we're just going to do single leg stretch, and we are going to do toe dip. So you can always speed over one of them if you don't want to do both, or you can continue with one or the other if you've got your option now to take out any of the ones that you don't like. So just make sure those shoulders are nice and broad. You've always got that option, shoulder stabilization. Breathe in up to the ceiling, exhale, widen, and then lower back down. So bringing your legs up into tabletop. So this goes into that discussion we were just having at the beginning of this video, where you can keep in neutral position. A little mouse could run under, really requires that deep core activation, or you can imprint and do it from here. So listen to your body. So in our tabletop position, you're going to take your inhale, where head can stay on the floor, or if you're lifting up, you come up and you bring one leg in, stretch the other leg out. So we go for the count of 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and lower back down. For the next 8, I'm going to look forward, because don't gain anything looking at the screen because you're not there and I'm not supporting my head in the correct way. So going for your second set of 8, take your inhale, exhale, bring up your legs and your body, bringing one leg in, stretching the other leg out. Take your inhale and exhale, and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Both knees in, head down, arms to the side, bring it down. So we're just going to do 2 sets of toe dip, because if you've warmed up at all, that is enough. So up into the tabletop. So if you haven't yet tried and you feel that you want to, this is most probably the best one to have a go at this natural neutral spine position. We're just going to do 2 sets of 10. It's hot. Take an inhale and exhale for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Stretch the full body out. That is the ab work and the hard work done. So, if you wanted to do some weights, you've always got, what was the COVID go-to? Your can of beans. A tin of green lentils and some bolotti beans. But if you wanted to pause the video and just remember through some of the things that we have done in class, and you feel like doing some weights, you can do the bicep curl, going up and down. And remember the conversation we've had, that if you slow it down, these cans definitely feel heavier. And I can feel far more activation in my arms. So then you can turn to the side for the hammer. And as I said, I'm just running through this. It's only half an hour, this video, and I'm already halfway through. So just reminding you that these are things you can do at home with a can, and some of you have your own weights. So just remember, this is the little routine that we do. Again, you could keep your abdominals and spine in that neutral position. And then we've got our triceps, hands up, support, and you slowly go down and up. And I've got that mouse. So there, I'm keeping deep into those core muscles, gap under the back, going up and down and up and down and up and down. Over to the other side, and you can choose how many you want to do. You could go for 2 cans of beans as we go from above our head down to our groin and back, and then not to forget the Minnie Mouse ears. But definitely with my spine in neutral, I can feel I do have a nice strong engagement deep in the core. So remember, for Minnie Mouse ears, you hold either side of your can, elbows out to the side, you hover just above the crown of your head as you go up and down and up and down and up and down. So that is just a little reminder, so that if you've got your own weights or you raid your tin cupboard, you could do that. So let's turn to our sides. So coming over, let's keep it quieter now with the body, going down on the side. So you can see my shins are along the front of the mat. I am straightening up my spine, done that little lift to make sure my hips are one over the other. You all know that you can support yourself with your hand, with your fingertips, with your finger down to the side, and we're going to do an up and straighten out, back and down. So up, straighten, back and down, and I'm not losing that connection in there, keeping that working. Lovely. It's not over, it's just light, because I've stretched out my spine. So remember those conversations we've had about fascia, that the more you stretch it and keep it long and connected, a lot of the work is done for you. So we're going to our simple set as we straighten long. So here I am, and it's quite handy when both legs are long to use your fingers to help your stability. So we're going to go for the lift and lower, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Going for the staggered leg lift, up and down, up, up, down, up, down, up, down. 2 more, up, down, up, down. So to break the leg lifts, we're coming up and we're going to do 5 circles. So remember, you're really focusing and definitely need some balance as we go round. Lovely. 2 more. And then we're going to swap in the opposite direction. So see how long my leg is out from the hips. Lovely. It's amazing how quickly time passes. And there. And down. So we're going to go for the double leg lift. So remember to push down into your hips, into your hand, and help them float up and down. And float up and down. And up and down. 2 more, up and down. And up and down. Lovely. Going to the other side in a minute, but I just thought show you some things you can do with things you've got around the home. So, going back, just a little momentary break before we go on to the other side, is you don't have to have a band for some exercises. And I know a few people have talked to me about their necks. So that exercise that we do with our necks and bands, you can hold it like this, just as you would, and then you just push back and release. Push back and release, and push back, and release, and push. It's not quite as effective as the band, but you can really get a nice pull back and just feel you're working that back of the neck. It's also quite nice to pull this, and you can do those stretches from either side. Lovely. And down. And down. So, something you can do with your hand towel. I know I've talked about it. Bath towel's coming in a minute when we're laying in a different position. So, over onto your other side. I'm going to start off with those legs bent. Oh, I've got a little ant to come to join me. So, going across front of the mat with your shins. Remember that lift and straighten and check in on that lower hip. So, for this, with legs bent, I think we tend to be more stable. So we're going to lift and stretch out. Back and down. And up. And stretch. Back and down. Up. And stretch. Back and down. Up. And stretch. Back and down. So 2 more. Up. And stretch, back and down, up and stretch, back and down. So giving myself hand for support, I am going to lengthen those legs. You just see me shimmy my lower hip, making sure that they are stacked. And we are going for the lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, last one, lift and lower. So staggered, lift, lift, down, lift, lift, down, lift, lift, down, lift, lift, down, last one, lift, lift, down. Break up the lifts with our circle. So round in 5. 1, 2. And try and keep those hips still. So you definitely need something to support you so that your hips are not swaying backwards and forwards. And then the other way. Lovely. 3, 4, and 5. And down. So we're going to finish with our double leg lift. So pushing down into your hands, into your hips, up you go, and down. So inhale up, and exhale down, and inhale up, and exhale down. Nice connection here, keeping those hips nice and stable. It's about stability and length. Lovely. And last one. Super. So from there, going to turn ourselves onto our fronts. So let's do some through the eye of the needles. 3 on each side. Do a little, get the back moving after that work where it was static. So you're looking up to the side. Take that hand through. Go down to the side, up and down, to the other side, up and through, and up and down. In fact, look, even teacher needs to correct herself. And up and down, up. Mind you, I'm not going to slip on my mat, I'm sticking to it, up. I had to turn my aircon so you could hear me. And it's warming up very nicely in here. And up. And down. And up. Last one. Up. And down. And up. And from here you're going to push yourself. Don't know what that is. And push yourself back into your child's pose. Going for as close as you can get. Oh, almost. And stretch forward. Walking your fingers to one side. And take some breaths into those ribs. Over to the other side. And again, breathe. Really open up that expanse of ribs. And again. And again. Lovely. Back to the centre. And up. So from this position, I'm going to do the exercises where we combine a few things together. So we're going to go into a cat stretch. From that, we go into our child's pose. And then from that, I'm walking my fingers a little bit to go into my nice hip flexor stretch. So we go back up into our cat pose. Stretch forward, walk those fingers into a child's pose. Maybe a couple more walks forward on the fingers to come in to a nice hip flexor stretch. Lovely, 2 more times as we come back into cat. Stretch down into child, walk those fingers forward. As you come up, just walk a little bit further to then go into your hip flexor stretch. And from this, last one, back to that cat, into child. Lovely. And last one, through and up. Lovely. So from there, I'm just going to turn my mat around so we can go into a nice Sphinx position. Doesn't allow you to get too hot as you've done your hot work at the beginning, which was sensible for me because definitely the temperature in here is rising. Whoops, need to go back a little bit more. So that doesn't hurt, does it? So get my chair out, which I never used in the end. My beans. Going to stretch it back. So here we are in our Sphinx. Arms out. And you can just rest your head, look it forward, and just breathe into those expanse of your ribs. You can always make it slightly more active by connecting in the abdominals to lift up. So I've actually not got my abdominals on the floor. I can feel my hip bones, but my abdominals are lifted. If that doesn't feel nice on your lower back, you can just bring your abdominals onto the floor. So you can sit here, lay here for a minute. So we're coming towards the end. I expect it's funny seeing me on your telly screen or iPad. Hope it's just giving you something to do in this hot weather. We've done abdominals, back, side legs, a bit of neck. And what we're going to finish with as you come out of this Sphinx is you can relax back. So with a towel, you can make it into a little roller. So I've got my bath sheet in half, and then you can roll it up into your mini little roller. So from there, you can lay it along your mat. You can sit at the end, so my towel is just at my glutes, and I'm going to lay down and just lay out to the side. And if you watch through the video, before you do it and come to this bit, well, you've always got the option of doing this for half an hour. Because we're now at the half-hour stage. And maybe if this has got you motivated, the majority of you have done enough classes that you can take it a little bit further. If not, in this heat, there's half an hour where you have at least done something. So this is very relaxing, but should you want to finish with a bit more action, yeah, it's not a roller, it's not going to lift you up that far, but you can stick it under your lumbar and just put your feet up in the air. And you can do all those same exercises that we do in class. So from there, I'll say, some of you, I don't know when any of you are going to watch this, maybe it'll languish in wherever my husband's going to put it, on YouTube or in your email box. I've no idea. He's the tech man, but hopefully I'll see you in a cooler hall next week, and yeah, hopefully this will get some of you on your mat. So, coming to finish record.